Hey crocheters, welcome back. In today's tutorial, we're gonna be making this absolutely stunning, easy crochet market bag with leather straps. These are super duper easy. No matter which yarn you get, you're gonna work it up so quickly. You can totally do this in a day as long as you have all the supplies you need. It looks like something you would find at Target. You are going to need, if you have these leather straps, you are gonna need a little screwdriver for the other end of this little doodad thing. You're definitely gonna wanna secure it with like hot glue. So I hot glued mine. I've been carrying around this bag for about over a week and it's great. I am going to be adding lining to both of my bags, so if you want to see how I add my lining, comment that down below and I can make a video for that. And remember, I'm going to make it super easy. And today I am going to be using a little bit of interfacing. I'm by far no means an expert. I'm using a hot glue gun, so if you have one of those, let's do it the easy way.
This is the Flex-Foam I'm going to be using.
For this bag, I only put it at the bottom. And this is the yarn that is from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. And I'm gonna put the dimensions down below for this bag. And I'm so excited that my setup has gotten a huge improvement. Adoreve Me has actually sent me this desk Vanity and I absolutely love it for filming purposes. I love it so much, I'm already obsessed. My other desk was so big, it was like taking up most of the room. I'm loving the wood look of this. And it has a mirror, which is great for when I'm getting ready. And it has 3 different modes. Love it. I actually love the last mode. I leave it on this one. I am loving the shelves. Huge, huge selling point. I love that it has 2 USBs and 2 outlets. So I don't have to move the desk anytime I want to plug something in. Love that it actually has a USB opposed to a C port because I can put my lamp in and I don't need this big chunky thing in the way. Love the drawers for storage. I don't have cups anymore, so I can just easily organize all of my things I need. Love the hardware is just so nice. I love that it comes with a stool. However, I will be using my pink desk chair. I'm seriously obsessed with how cozy this is. Thank you, Adoreve Me. This is a beautiful upgrade. I love it. I will have this one linked down below in case you want to check it out. So without further ado, let's grab our supplies and let's go crochet. All right, for today's tutorial, I did get a 2-pack of these leather straps. It came with the light color and it also came with this brown color. Also, it did come with these little inserts. I'm gonna be using a 6.5 hook today. You're gonna need a stitch marker and you can have your choice of yarn. Depending on the weight, you're gonna get a different size than what I have. And I will have the dimensions down below in the description if you want to check those out. But I will be using the bulky twist. So far I've been loving it for my bags. I feel like it has a really good structure. This is a really nice cotton blend and it really helps with this overall structure of the bag. We're gonna start by making a slip knot. And we're gonna chain 35. Alright, so I have my 35. Now we're gonna do 9 rows of single crochet. So we are going to skip that first stitch and we're gonna work into that second. We're gonna be doing 9 rows of single crochet. So to start that, we are going to skip this first chain and we're gonna work into this second chain. Insert your hook. Grab the yarn and pull it through. Yarn over. And pull through. That's a single crochet. And we're just going to work our way down. All right, so go ahead and keep going down and I'm going to show you how to turn to the next row. All right, so I worked my way down. I'm gonna give it a nice tug to straighten it out. All right, so now I'm going to chain 1 and I'm gonna turn my work. So that was row number 1. So now we have 8 more rows. So we're just gonna continue. working our 8 rows of single crochet. And I have normal tension. I'm letting the hook do all the work. Really, I'm just... So go ahead and work your 8 more rows so you have 9 total rows. Remember, your chain does not count as a row. And then meet back up with me. I did my 9 rows, and now I'm going to be using my stitch marker to mark the last stitch I did on my 9th row. And we are going to add interfacing at the bottom. So this is a super important row, probably the most important row of this whole bag. So you want to make sure that you have it done correctly. Your stitch count is at the number you need. So to start, we're going to do 3 single crochets into the same stitch that we did our last single crochet in. So we're going to insert a hook and do 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do 8 single crochet going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoopsies, 6, 7, and now we're at our 8, but we are going, so this is our 8, but now, so this is our 8th stitch, but since we are at the corner, we are going to be doing 3 more for the corner. So that same stitch, we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3, and you can just tighten this, not a big deal. All right, and now we want to make sure we don't skip a stitch, but we are going to be doing 34 going all the way down. But it's important to not skip that first stitch. I'm going to insert it into the knot. So go ahead and go all the way down, and you should have 34, and then meet back with me. All right, so I had 34. Now I'm going to add 3 to that same stitch. So 1, 2, 3. So that was for our corner. Now we're going to do 8 going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to do 3. We want to make sure that we're not covering up our first stitch. This is going to be a first stitch, but we're going to do 3 single crochet for the corner. 1, 2, 3. Right, so now we're going to have 34 for our last long side. Your 34th should be right at your stitch marker. So go ahead and do those and meet back up with me. So this is the interfacing I'm going to be using. It's Flex-Foam one-sided fusible. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm definitely not a professional at this. So if you know a better way, like maybe do that way, don't do my way, but I'm just kind of going to mark it, and I want it to be definitely smaller than, like, I don't want to make it this big. I want to make it a little bit smaller just to keep the shape a little bit. So I have like really terrible like lines, but I'm just gonna cut it a little. But I'm not even going near the line. I definitely want it to be smaller than what the actual size is. So I'm just guesstimating. Okay, and I am gonna clean this up a little. It does not look cute, but it's really not that big of a deal because it's going in the inside of my bag. I'm also gonna be giving it a liner, so it's not even gonna be seen. So this is kind of what I'm going for right here.
And you can either hot glue this on right now, but I'm gonna just go ahead and wait and glue it on when I glue my straps on.
So now we're gonna do our 3 rows of single crochet, and then you're gonna meet back up with me. So now I did my 3 rows of single crochet, and now we're gonna do the main stitch of the body of the bag. So to do that, we don't need our stitch marker anymore for right now. I'm going to slip stitch. We're gonna chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna do a double crochet into that same stitch. And this is how we're gonna start all of our V-stitch. That's how we're gonna start. We're gonna chain 4 and then do a double crochet. So now we're gonna do the regular V-stitch. We're gonna skip 2 stitches, work into the 3rd, doing a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet into that same stitch, yarn over, skip 2, chain 1 and a double crochet into that same stitch, yarn over, skip 2, chain 1, double crochet into that same stitch. And we're just gonna do that all the way around the bag. I'm gonna show you how to connect it and move on to the next row. So go ahead and meet back with me when you are where you started. All right, so our first row of the V-stitch is done. It should be looking like this. We're gonna be doing a slip stitch into our 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then I'm actually going to slip stitch one more time through all of it. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet, and that is going to be how we work to the next row. This is our first V-stitch for the 2nd row, and now we are just going to be working into our V-stitches, doing the double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. So it should look just like that going into your V-stitch. So we are not going to do anything to these gaps. We're only working into our V's. Chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So go ahead and keep going, and remember, when you get to the end, you're going to count 3, slip stitch, and then you're going to slip stitch into the V and chain 4, and then do a double crochet to start your V's. So you're just going to keep going and meet back with me when you have completed your 13 total rounds. So this is 2, so you have 11 rounds left. All right, so this is what the bag should be looking like. I have 13 rows, so if you count, there should be 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have already slip stitched into my V. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over, and I'm just going to do
a double crochet. This time we're going to do 2 double crochets for each V, and there is no chain in the middle.
It's gonna taper our bag a little bit inwards, but not too much. So let's go ahead and I will show you again. So you're gonna yarn over, and we're gonna do 2 double crochets into our V's. So it's almost like a V stitch, except we're not gonna chain in the middle. First double crochet, second double crochet. We're gonna move to the next. 1, 2. The next. 1, 2. One, 2. So go ahead and keep going all the way around the bag and meet back with me when you are where you started. All right, I'm back where I started, and you can see it just does a little slight taper, so it's not gonna be sticking out like this. So now let's go ahead and go on to the next row. And I'm gonna start just by single crocheting. I went straight into a single crochet, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark that so I don't lose my spot. And if that does bother you, you can do a slip stitch and chain 1. I just prefer not to. All right, and now I'm just gonna give a single crochet all the way around.
And you're just going to repeat that for a total of 8 rows.
All right, we have done our 8 rows, and now we are going to do our last row, and our last row is going to be a slip stitch. So I'm just going to insert my hook, grab the yarn, and we're just going to pull through both loops, and obviously we're going to mark it. So go ahead, let's do our slip stitch row, and then we're ready to add our straps. So it's gonna give it a real nice finish. So go ahead and meet me back when you get to the end. Okay, we made it to the end. Now we're just gonna slip stitch and remove it. All right, so we just gotta weave in our end, and now the body of our bag is completed. Now we're going to add our straps. So I'm gonna be adding them like this. Okay. These 2, and you're also going to need a little baby screwdriver. So straight. I want to see that whole stitch going all the way down, so I'm going to put it about right there. Here we go. All right, so the side is done. So again, you can see I'm in the same row, like I'm in the same area going down. Alright, so obviously before you start gluing, make sure you completely love where it's at, or obviously don't glue it on. Alright, so I really like where it's at, so I'm gonna go ahead and I grab my hot glue gun and I'm going to hot glue. It over to the other side as well.
You're going to repeat that on the other side, but remember, make sure you love it before hot gluing.
Right, so now we're going to be hot gluing this into the interior of the bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to inside it out to make it easier. Just want to make sure.
Now you're going to cut 2 rectangles that are smaller than the top of the bag. Make sure they're even. You can put them on top of each other and make sure that they are the same size. And you can skip this step if you don't want to add a liner, because you pretty much need a liner after this. It doesn't matter so much of what this looks like because it will be covered up. And you want to position this where there's like 2 rows at the very top still showing, so you have something to work with when you are going to be adding your liner. So don't glue it at the very top.